The universe is mind-boggling in its size. The part we can observe stretches about 93 billion light-years across and contains over 2 trillion galaxies. Each galaxy is like its own giant community, filled with billions of stars and solar systems. When you put all these galaxies together, they form a structure called the cosmic web, which links them in an enormous interconnected network. This cosmic web isn't just stars and planets. It includes dark matter, an invisible but powerful force that binds galaxies together, shaping the structure of the universe. Even though we may never be able to explore most of these galaxies, their vastness and interconnected design captivate scientists and inspire people worldwide. The human brain is also an incredibly complex network, though on a much smaller scale. It has about 86 billion neurons, and each one's connected to thousands of others. These connections allow our brains to process information, store memories, and create thoughts. Just like the cosmic web, these neurons link in a massive network. This similarity in structure between our brains and the universe raises fascinating questions for scientists. Could there be a reason these two complex systems look so much alike, even though one is on a galactic scale and the other fits inside our heads? The connection might not just be a coincidence, and researchers are studying whether the brain and the universe follow similar principles and patterns. Humans are natural pattern seekers. Since ancient times, people have looked up at the stars and found shapes like the Big Dipper or Orion's belt in the night sky. These patterns, called constellations, helped early humans understand the movement of celestial bodies, predict seasons, and create stories. But pattern recognition doesn't stop with stars. Mathematicians have found patterns that repeat throughout nature, like the golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence. The golden ratio is a specific proportion that appears in art, architecture, and even the human body, while the Fibonacci sequence is a series of numbers where each number is the sum of the two before it. This sequence can be seen in the arrangement of leaves on a plant, the spiral shells of snails, and even the way galaxies form. Nature's patterns are often dynamic, not just static shapes or numbers. For example, fractals are patterns that repeat on different scales. In fractal geometry, if you look closely at a part of a tree branch, it resembles the whole tree's structure. Similarly, rivers, mountain ranges, and clouds show these self-similar patterns. Whether looking at a single leaf or a whole forest, nature's designs seem to follow the same rules. Modern science has taken pattern recognition to an entirely new level, revealing that our universe operates according to underlying principles. For example, in biology, the discovery of DNA's double helix structure showed that the blueprint of life itself is based on a complex yet orderly pattern. In physics, quantum mechanics unveiled a mysterious world where particles behave in surprising ways, suggesting that the very building blocks of reality follow strange but consistent rules. Chaos theory, meanwhile, showed us that even seemingly random systems, like weather patterns, often follow hidden patterns that we can predict with some degree of accuracy. These discoveries prompt questions about why humans are so attuned to spotting patterns. Some scientists argue that our ability to recognize patterns developed simply as a survival skill, helping early humans identify food sources, dangers, and seasonal changes. However, others wonder if this ability hints at something more profound. Could our drive to see patterns reflect a deeper link between us and the cosmos, a sort of cosmic signature within us? This debate keeps scientists and philosophers alike curious about our innate connection to the world around us. Researchers Franco Vazza, an astrophysicist, and Alberto Folletti, a neuroscientist, have collaborated on a fascinating project that looks at structural similarities between the universe's cosmic web and the brain's neural networks. Although one is a sprawling network of galaxies and dark matter, the other is a small but intricate web of neurons. Vazza and Folletti noticed surprising resemblances between these two systems. By analyzing large data sets, they discovered that both the cosmic web and the brain's neural network follow a pattern called degree distribution. This means that in both networks, most nodes, galaxies in a cosmic web or neurons in the brain, have only a few connections, while a few nodes have a large number of connections. This finding is significant because it suggests a kind of universal architecture, an underlying blueprint that both the brain and the universe share. For scientists, this discovery is exciting because it hints that complex networks in nature might follow common structural rules, regardless of size or function. The implications of Vaza and Folletti's research extend beyond pure curiosity. By understanding the patterns and structures shared between the universe and our brains, we might gain new insights into big questions in science. For example, one area this research could impact is our understanding of dark energy, the mysterious force driving the universe's expansion. If the structure of the universe shares features with neural networks, scientists might develop new approaches to study these cosmic mysteries. Additionally, this research could influence artificial intelligence and neural network technology. Today's AI systems are modeled after the human brain's neural connections, and learning more about how these networks work on both cosmic and microscopic levels could help engineers create more efficient, powerful artificial networks. This shared structure offers an exciting foundation for future technologies that might mimic or even surpass our brain's processing abilities. Outside the scientific community, these findings have stirred interest in philosophical and metaphysical discussions. Some people interpret these results as evidence of a grand design, or even as support for creationist ideas. However, Vaza and Folletti stress that their work is grounded purely in scientific research, with no intention of suggesting metaphysical or religious conclusions. They aim to keep the focus on exploring these phenomena through rigorous study. One fascinating philosophical question that arises from studying the universe is known as the Boltzmann brain paradox. Named after physicist Ludwig Boltzmann, this paradox suggests that, statistically, it's more likely for a single, self-aware brain to randomly come into existence in the universe than for the entire complex universe to exist as it does now. Boltzmann's idea was based on probabilities in an infinite universe filled with particles moving at random. Given enough time, he suggested, these particles could randomly come together to form a self-aware brain with thoughts, memories, and perceptions to create a conscious mind without a body. This idea raises unsettling questions about our own reality. If a single brain is more likely to randomly appear than the entire universe, how can we trust that our own experiences aren't just illusions created by a chance fluctuation? Are we part of a larger, intentional design? Or could we ourselves be Boltzmann's brains, momentary blips of awareness in vast cosmic chaos? Though unsettling, these ideas push us to think about the nature of existence, reality, and the mind's role in the universe. The idea of a conscious universe, which you can say that a universe is somehow aware of itself, is another intriguing concept. This idea has its roots in a philosophical tradition known as panpsychism, which suggests that all matter, not just living beings, has some form of consciousness. In ancient Eastern philosophies, as well as some Western traditions, this idea has been explored as a way of understanding reality as a unified, living entity. In modern science, the question of a conscious universe has found support in some interpretations of quantum mechanics. For example, the observer effect in quantum physics suggests that the act of observing something at the quantum level can affect its behavior, implying a possible connection between the observer, that's often a conscious mind, and the observed particles. Additionally, some researchers propose that complex systems, like the interconnected network of galaxies, could potentially have a form of awareness through theories like integrated information theory, which suggests that any sufficiently complex system could possess some level of consciousness. Donald Goffman has proposed a fascinating new theory on consciousness that is challenging traditional ideas. According to Goffman, consciousness isn't just something that happens because of complex brain activity. Instead, He suggests that consciousness is fundamental to reality itself, just like matter and energy. This theory, if true, could mean that consciousness isn't merely the product of electrical signals in our brains, but something woven into the very fabric of existence. One intriguing aspect of Goffman's theory is its connection to quantum mechanics, the branch of science that studies the tiniest particles in the universe. Quantum mechanics reveals a strange and unpredictable world where particles can behave differently depending on whether they're being observed. Goffman argues that this quantum uncertainty might be connected to consciousness itself. He suggests that certain quantum interactions in our brains may be key to the emergence of awareness, perhaps even giving rise to thoughts and emotions in ways we don't yet fully understand. This idea has generated both excitement and skepticism among scientists. While some researchers see Goffman's work as a potential breakthrough in understanding consciousness, others criticize it, saying that it lacks concrete evidence. Many believe that while the theory is bold and thought-provoking, it needs more experimental backing to be accepted widely. Still, Goffman's theory opens new paths for research that could help us understand consciousness from a perspective that combines both quantum mechanics and neuroscience. If consciousness is indeed fundamental to the universe, as Goffman suggests, this discovery could reshape how we view ourselves and our connection to everything around us. Traditionally, the universe has often been seen as a collection of separate objects: planets, stars, atoms, and even people, each existing independently. However, this new way of thinking encourages us to consider that everything might be more interconnected than we thought. This understanding of interconnectedness could extend beyond just physical connections. It might mean that on some level, our thoughts, actions, and awareness are intertwined with the universe itself. Recognizing this connection could inspire a deeper sense of responsibility and care for others, for nature, and even the cosmos. If everything's linked by a shared underlying consciousness, then our actions and decisions could have effects that ripple out in ways we cannot yet understand. From an ethical perspective, this shift in understanding could lead to new reflections on how we treat each other and the world. If consciousness is not limited to individual brains, but is a universal quality, then how we interact with each other, animals, and the environment takes on new meaning. Respecting the interconnected nature of existence could inspire us to act more mindfully, with greater empathy and understanding of our place within the larger universe. What are your thoughts on it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're more interested in exploring the universe, don't forget to watch our video on quantum entanglement. Spooky action at a distance. See you in the next one. Bye.